Hello everyone, this is Destro, and this is not episode 37. There was an accident with Windows Movie Maker trying to overwrite something to insert something else and ending up deleting both files by accident. So I don't have the original episode 37 anymore, and what you get instead is the footage that I was going to use for episode 37 that I could not use and had to reload because of a actually rather amusing bug. So, um, I will go ahead and play through that while I'm talking here. Probably try and turn down the microphone volume on the original video a bit so you don't hear me talking over myself. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh, and one other thing I should probably mention is that I think this is about when my old headset microphone started to malfunction and lose some of its, some of the voiceover I was trying to do. So, if you notice anything about that in future episodes, yeah, that's why I do fix it. I get another one, and I can't remember which episode I actually get that one for. But yeah, any weird audio glitches, that's why. Okay, so with that out of the way, back to the actual commentary. I started this episode off by doing a ton of Foundry projects and some research things. Yeah, EMP Canon is still too slow. I think I'll get that later. But the important thing is, I got my satellite nexus up, which allowed for the first of two slightly interesting bugs in this episode. Now, the first one, I actually really would have liked to see what became of it because, well, again, I had to restart this recording, so I never actually got to see what happened with this one. It was a bug with launching one of the satellites, and so there wouldn't have been anything I would have been able to actually see with it until it turned up. Yeah, here we go. I decided to launch one over Mexico to deal with the panic there. And I think I also decided to launch one to Japan. I have two, you see. Yeah, so here we go. Launch satellite to Mexico. Confirm. Launch. And then this comes up, which made me very confused. So I told it to cancel that. And now no country is selected. And Mexico's panic has not gone down. Well, this is odd now, isn't it? So, I launch another satellite to Mexico. Or rather, I go and I look at my upcoming and satellite operational over nowhere in particular. So yeah, I really, really would have liked to see what happened when that satellite launched. And here we get an abduction mission. And, well, wouldn't you know it, one of them's in Mexico. So, it's going to be, oh yeah. I did actually have enough time to go and get those other satellites. Yeah, see, now I have 5 available, which would have been enough to cover almost everything left if that one hadn't gone missing, so to speak. This also appears to be somewhere where there is a large stretch of commentary actually missing due to the aforementioned recording glitch. So it's a good thing that I'm doing this voiceover instead. I'm, okay, yeah, here we go. Launching a mission. And this map that we get for this mission is the observatory map, or it will be in a moment once I've exchanged Harnell out for, I think, Gar, because I think Gar is back at this point. Oh no, Gar is already there. So who do I bring in instead? Oh, I know who I bring in. I bring in Mike, I think. If you recall, my support has just died. So, I need a new one. And that gets to be Mike's job. And hey, plasma rifles. Yes, that was me waffling over what to give him before realizing what I actually wanted him to do. Yeah, and nobody else needs new guns because we don't have any new plasma sniper rifles or anything like that yet. But we will. We will eventually get those. Yeah, Gar is my arc thrower jockey. So, also, something that I actually really like is the shoulder pads on the Carapace armor change depending on what weapon you've outfitted the people with. You can see some of them have green shoulder pads there, and those are the ones with plasma weapons. I'm not sure why it does that, but it's kind of cool. And yes, as I was saying, this is the observatory map, which I have not seen before. The Sky Ranger took a silly amount of time to set down, as I said, and yes, this is the observatory map. Hence my zooming out and looking around, because I don't recall ever actually being on this map up to this point. Not that it matters. And you'll see why. One thing that I've noticed with this map is that there is not a great deal of high cover within just single walking distance in Carapace armor of the starting location. There's the truck and there's those two little areas over there, but there's not a lot else. And between the storage tanks, I'm not sure what those are, and the next high cover, there's a nice little bit of open ground. It's not as bad as the alien base or anything near as bad as the battleships in some places. We haven't seen a battleship yet. Those come up later. They're fun. But I'm being careful here in the beginning. Trying to keep people in high cover as much as I can. Despite the utter non-appearance of any aliens thus far. And then I try to decide where I should grapple the sniper or whether or not I should grapple the sniper. At which point I realize that she's not actually close enough to grapple up over there, so I just move her down there. Yeah, just hunker down the sniper. Sometimes I do take a long time to decide things, and it doesn't feel like a long time at the time because, well, I'm the one playing the game. But, you know, one of those things. I often find myself yelling at myself, get on with it, when I'm rewatching these to try to think of episode names. We send Mike up the side there, I think. Yeah. In there. No aliens. Can't see anything just yet. And they certainly aren't just, you know, popping out at us like they sometimes do on smaller maps. I think this is just a medium-sized map. But now we can grapple our sniper up to the roof, so up we go. At which point, no aliens are immediately visible. Well, That's interesting. And here you see one of the wonderful, wonderful things that XCOM does with height levels sometimes. It doesn't handle those especially well. This was a bad move. Yes. This was a bad move. Because we have thin men inside the telescope building. We have mutons on top of the truck over there for some reason. And you'll notice there's a group of heavy floaters down there. But it did not trigger their video. Their little, hey, here we are, shoot at us, please. Alien cinematic that happens every time you trigger a group of aliens. Got a couple shots on the Berserker from reactions, so that's good. And I believe I sent Gar up to the roof to deal with thin men. Yeah. So Gar gets to go deal with our sniper being flanked by thin men. Run, Gar, run! There we go. Run and gun. I think I sent him... Do I send him there or do I send him inside? I can't remember. Oh, it's been a long time. Yes, that was me noticing the heavy floaters. Okay. Yes, go there, Gar. Show us all what you're made of. You magnificent Canadian badass, you. Okay. Yep, and there's Gar managing to completely obliterate that thin man. And here's the Berserker taking his turn. And getting murdered by Overwatch from our two heavies there. Doesn't it just suck to be him? Yeah, he just shoots Gar. That was kind of inevitable. We knew it was going to happen. And this is a heavy floater going up here, landing right in the poison like an absolute idiot, which I found greatly amusing. And this is the point at which it all goes to hell. Those heavy floaters had not triggered, so they didn't all move out of each other's way. Those two guys are occupying the same spot. And so that one, who's trying to move, can't. In any case, this didn't look to be changing anytime soon. So I cut my losses, reloaded the game, and started again. Which makes this time for something completely different.